On Jazz Street, you just never know who's going to show up and drop by. Hilary Gardner. Hilary, welcome back to Rochester.
Thank you, Derek. It's so good to be here again.
And you brought a friend. Who?
I brought a bunch of friends, but yes, this friend here with us is Justin Poindexter.
And what does he play?
Justin is a guitarist and also a vocalist, and he's really kind of our music director. He's a jack of all trades and a master of all.
So welcome back to Rochester.
Thank you. So glad to be here.
Talk about the importance of getting people to swing and dance with your music.
You know, I think this music was built to be dance music, swing era music. So when you have dancers dancing to it, then it tells you a lot about the tempos you're supposed to play and how long the songs are supposed to be.
So with your style of music, we used to call it Texas swing. But how do you describe your music?
Oh gosh, we've been thinking about this a lot. We have a lot of bases that we cover with this repertoire, but there's a big cinematic component. Most of these songs have come from films, and so that's something that informs a lot of what we do. But yeah, Western swing is definitely that's our shorthand. But a lot of the songs live very comfortably under the jazz umbrella, and some of them are kind of veering off into Western frontiers that might be a little less hard to categorize.
How would you describe the band's sound? Oh, I think spare, haunting, beautiful. I mean, I'm just lucky because Hilary's an amazing singer and she leaves us so much room to kind of interpret the music. So it's lonesome, the music. It's lonesome out there in the frontier,
So everything from Bob Willis to early Willie Nelson to everything else under the sun. So how do you create a playlist?
Oh gosh. Well, this project was born when in the midst of 2020, we'll just say that, and I was in a one-bedroom apartment in downtown Brooklyn, and so I was thinking about wide open spaces, and a lot of these songs, the lyrics describe these incredible Western landscapes, which are very, very spacious and filled with nature and beauty and lonesomeness and a little melancholy, and so that was really at the beginning. Those were my criteria. I wanted a sense of atmosphere and beauty, but a little bit of sadness. And then as I started just digging more and more into the body of work, songs just kind of, they bubble up to the top. They suggest themselves and they fit in or they don't. And we can only find that out by playing them.
That being said, so for folks who don't know, Hilary, where are you from?
That's a big question. I've been in New York now for more than 20 years. So New York City is definitely home. I was born in Omaha, Nebraska, which I am going to try to correct because everywhere it says that I'm an Alaska-born singer, which is not true. But I did spend most of my childhood in Alaska.
So you've grown up around lots of open spaces, Nebraska, of course, Alaska. So you're bringing that kind of visual beauty to the sound. So how do you do that?
Well, my first gigs, if you can call them that, were when I was about 15 years old in my hometown of Wasilla, Alaska, and I was a ringer for a guy who owned a karaoke company, and I sang Patsy Cline songs in crummy little bars, and yeah, I mean there were moose in the driveway, right? I mean it's all in my DNA, I guess. So I was dreaming of New York City that entire time, but you can't fight or hide your roots, so they just here we are.
And how about for you? So where are you from originally?
I grew up in North Carolina.
And so talk about growing up in the world of Tobacco Road.
Oh, well, I went to school right across from the Lorillard factory. So, but I was lucky. I grew up in a community. My dad's a country singer. I grew up around just a lot of musicians. And then when you live, in a smaller scene, you tend to, I think, play more different kinds of gigs. So I would play jazz gigs, but I would also play country gigs or whatever. And I think this project, I feel very seen because it's great. It's great guitar music, and there's just a lot of room to be yourself in it, and it's beautiful music, and I'm just glad we're doing it because no one else seems to really do these songs.
Thank you for doing that. So talk about the instrumentation of the band.
Well, it started off in Justin's apartment, just Noah Garabedian, our bassist, Justin, and myself. And it was a very organic process of just kind of playing through tunes using lead sheets, and Justin would kind of start singing some harmonies. And as you know, having been here with Duchess, I love singing in harmony. And so that started happening more. And then we knew we wanted to add drums into the mix, and we found the wonderful Aaron Thurston. And then our secret weapon has been Sasha Papernick, who we knew a guy. Sasha is married to Justin, and she plays accordion and is also a beautiful singer. And so, again, I keep using the word organic, but it just kind of took shape on its own. And we really let the songs tell us where they want to go. And they seem to want to go to lots of harmony. And Justin has been so fun. And that when we were in the recording studio, there was some really cool vintage instruments. And I mean, he can speak more about that. But there's mandolin, there's acoustic guitar, there's electric guitar. The record has a lot of really fun sounds.
Which leads me to the instrumentation and a lot of vintage instruments you're using to create new sounds. It's pretty cool.
You know, I think Western music is great guitar music. Like the electric guitar kind of grew up in Western swing.
Right.
And Charlie Christian was from Oklahoma, or from Texas, I guess. And so like all these sounds are a big part of it. And, it gives me an excuse to buy a bunch of crap, I mean, that's really what this project is.
Good excuse. Well, can't wait to catch the show later on, and welcome back to Rochester.
Thank you so much. Great to see you.
Thank you for having us.
Keep swinging.